Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'll be teaching about variables and data types. Now, what are variables? Or what is a variable? A variable is like a container that holds a piece of information. Take for example, when you go to your bank application, the container that holds the value of your account number is a variable. Or when you go to your Facebook application and you want to check for the details of your friend, right? You can either get their name or the school they attended on Facebook, right? That container that holds the value of that school that they attended or the value of their name, right, is a variable. Okay. And variable can exist in different data types or different forms, right? For example, your account number is usually represented in numbers, digits, right? While your name or the name of school you attended is usually represented in textual formats, okay? And another form of variable is maybe, let's say, your marriage status. Is either you're married or not. It's either true or false, right? It will be represented in true or false format, right? Now, very good. So these are different forms data can exist. Now, what are the names of these data types? We have string, that's textual format, right? We also have numbers, that's when when a variable is represented in number format. We have Boolean when it is represented in true or false. Okay, we have undefined. We have objects. I will explain all this later. And we have an array, like a list of items or a list of variables, right? Okay, so that's it. So let's go straight to the point. Now, of course, we know how to print hello world. So we're going to print all the data types available. Now, the first one is let's print a string. So I'm going to print my name. So console.log, right? So I'm going to do this. Remember, when you want to maybe type a string, remember to always put it in your double quotes or single quotes. I'm going to use single quotes and I'll change it later. I want us to be consistent using double quotes, right? But single quotes also works. So I'm just showing you the possibility that it works. So I'm going to do O/# here. Okay. Do this. You see that? And when I console, you see it's printing. So I'm going to change it back to double quote just for consistency, right? So, but it still works. So you want to know the data type of this text, right? You can just come here, say console.log, say type of. So this is an inbuilt function in JavaScript, and you put that text inside it. So anything in double quotes or single quotes should give you a string. So when I save, I'll see string here. So type of is string. So I'm going to do the same thing for my age. So I'm going to say, or something like a number format. So console.log, I'm going to say 20. So take, for example, I'm 20 years. Say console.log, say here, say type of 20. Save it, and you see 20 is a number. Okay, and then the next one, let me do for true or false statements. So log, am I single? Put true here. Okay, and console.log, type of, right? Type of true. So with Boolean, when you come here, you see Boolean. So let's do another one. Say console.log undefined. Many times undefined is when you do not assign a value to a variable. I'm going to explain this later, okay? So I'll say undefined, and I'll say console.log type of undefined. Right, so it's going to show me undefined. Okay, let me do the same thing for null. So I'll just copy this and paste and do the same thing for null. So I'll change this to null. Okay, null is when something does not exist, right? Doesn't exist at all. So the variable type should be an object here. Okay, so I'll put it here. So object. So let me also do for an array. So I'll say now to represent an array. Array is when you want to represent a list of variables, right? Sometimes you just want to have a list of variables. Take for example a class of students, and each student represents a variable. Because we have many students in a class, you want to represent that class of students, you use an array. I'm going to explain all this thing in comprehensive detail. So all right, just hang on. So I'll say console the log. How to represent an array is using your square brackets, right? Let's say console the log type of this. So now this array is going to give me an object. Type of array is going to give me an object. Well, I'll explain that later. We have primitive and non-primitive data types. So this falls under non-primitive data types, and kind of the right. Okay, so it's going to give me object. So when I save my work and come here, it's going to give me object. But I'll explain. And then for the object, to represent your object, you use curly braces this time around. Okay, so I'll use curly braces to represent my objects. All right, remember to represent your array, you use square brackets. To represent your object, you use curly braces. And I can say console.log type of, and then do this, save my work to objects. Right, so these are variables and data types. Okay, so if you have any question, please put it in the comments. I will answer. All right, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye.